Staying in the United States, the White House regularly recognizes individuals, businesses, and organizations for making a difference in society through the program of Champions of Change. Among those recently awarded for their relief efforts in the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy is Tzu Chi, the only international religious organization selected.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, despite water and power shortages, Tzu Chi volunteers still managed to cook hot meals and deliver them into the hands of the disaster victims. Other than hot meals, blankets and daily necessities were also delivered. In that same amount, many disaster victims had already received $600 in cash cards. Learning of the disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers around the globe took to the streets to raise funds for the hurricane victims, to recognize individuals or groups who do extraordinary things to empower and inspire members of their communities. The White House set up the Champions of Change program, with Tzu Chi picked from over 1,000 nominees this year.
We shared how Tzu Chi volunteers carried out short-term to long-term relief work with their government officials, and they thought it was amazing. Janet Scott, the deputy director at the White House Office of Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships, said she was really moved by Tzu Chi, so she helped us apply for the award.
Overall, 17 individuals and groups were awarded, among which Tzu Chi was the sole international religious organization.
In the wake of a major disaster, people will see the power of a religion. Regardless of our ethnicity, faith, or color, when a disaster hits, love and unity play their role.
What makes Tzu Chi volunteers even more joyful is they learn that 8 of the awardees had worked to help others in need after they received Tzu Chi's cash cards.
Pay it forward. What Tzu Chi has been doing is to influence more people in a positive way, as it will be paying the love forward to change communities and the world for the better.
As the disaster victims are still on their path to recovery, Tzu Chi volunteers will continue to accompany them towards a better future.
In the Vatican City, Tzu Chi volunteers and the officials of the Holy See came together to exchange ideas. Despite the differences in faith, Tzu Chi volunteers and Vatican officials signed a memorandum of understanding for mutual cooperations in the future.
Last May, as a 6.0 and 5.8 magnitude earthquake struck northern Italy consecutively, Tzu Chi volunteers across Europe came together to provide timely assistance. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers were invited to have a talk with the Vatican City officials.
We have learned a lot from Catholicism, as the Catholics have tried to spread the idea of selfless love, while Tzu Chi talks about great love. Both of us want to make the world one big family. With the power of love, the world will be one, full of peace and hope.
Over the past 47 years, Tzu Chi volunteers have ceaselessly helped the needy and conducted aid distributions around the globe. The borderless love of the Buddhist NGO moved many in this headquarters of the Catholic faith.
I think that this cooperation that was set up from today officially from the headquarters will develop very, very rapidly wherever there are needs to support the first aids or whatever activities to help people.
Tzu Chi is the first NGO from the Chinese community to have been invited to have a talk with the Vatican City officials. Following the meeting, Tzu Chi and the Vatican signed a memorandum of understanding to further future cooperation, after which volunteers presented a volume of Jin's aphorisms in order to give their religious counterparts a better understanding of Tzu Chi. The meeting between Tzu Chi volunteers and the Vatican not only served as the platform for both parties to reach a common ground, but also a platform from which to launch further cooperation.